What does it really mean to be a woman in 2025? My goal in this series is to uplift women in today's world by sharing the real stories behind the illusion of social media and status. This is a space for honesty, for open conversations with women who are brave enough to speak their truth. Maybe you're navigating this modern world with young children, trying to balance career and motherhood, or figuring out how to protect young girls from outside influence. Whatever your story looks like, you're not alone. Here, we talk about the struggles, the lessons, and the resilience it takes to be a woman today. Because we don't have to do it all by ourselves. We can do it together by being honest, vulnerable, and real.
Hi, I'm Renée McDonald. My husband and I own McDonald Property Group real estate team in Barrhaven. We have two little girls, 11 and 9 years old. So right now I work with my husband, Jason. He's been in the business for about 17 years now in real estate. After staying home and raising the kids, I decided to go and work with him.
Do you think women working alongside their husbands are often seen as the helper rather than the partner?
That's a good question, because that's definitely, there was a lot of fear of deciding to work together because I worked for the government for so long and, I got to have my thing and he had his thing. And I was afraid we were going to kill each other, really. When we started, I made sure to have the right attitude of, this is not my business and I'm coming into this joining his business. I'm not going to come in here and try and tell him what to do and all that stuff. So I don't think people thought that I was just doing nothing and the happy wife, just helping, when I could. I think because of what I was doing, and Jason was getting compliments about my work, oh, who's doing your social media? And as someone who felt like I didn't know anything, it sure was a huge compliment to hear that from someone who, didn't know me and didn't even know it was his wife that was doing it, So
it fueled your fire.
Yeah, it was a huge compliment because I get, and I've said this to you before, imposter syndrome in me is huge.
What do you mean by imposter syndrome?
I just feel like I don't know anything, and I especially because Jason has so much experience, and not just in real estate, but in so many different jobs and dealing with politicians and all that stuff. Sometimes I just feel like little old country girl sometimes who doesn't, and even with the kids, we joke, if the kids come up to us and ask us these questions, big questions, sex or something like that, I have to practice my answers the night before. I have to do research, what am I going to say and how do I say it? Because I want to make sure I say the right thing. Jason will just off the cuff come up with this answer, and it's
so funny. Yeah, no, that's the gift of gab.
It's inspiring. I've learned so much, and he always said to me too, you fake it till you make it. If you don't know something, if you don't try and if you don't just go for it, you're never going to learn and you're never going to be confident. So it's it's good life lessons. I'm not that, and I'll never pretend to be as confident and bold as him. So I try to just do my own thing. Here I am. I'm going to push when I can. And plus, having two girls now and saying, girls, you have to try and you have to put in the effort and you have to, you're never going to be, or they'll try one thing and they'll say, I'm not very good at it. And I'll say, well, no, of course not. It's your first time. You have to keep trying and you have to keep doing it, And Jay is such a great influence on them because they see him doing so much. And I'm always telling myself okay, do some more stuff so they can see you do it too. Not just daddy, but mommy is doing a whole bunch of stuff too. And I want them to see that, and confidence can be different. It can be bold. It could also be quiet and
and patient.
And patient.
Do you find that what you're doing now aligns with the passion that you have inside you about what you want to do with your career?
Yeah, because when I first started out, I thought, I went to school for interior design. And then my mother, who has multiple sclerosis and has had it for 45 years, I've watched her, in houses and watch the space around her and see how things don't work and work. So interior design was a huge passion for me because of the way I was raised and how it that just happened for me. And I thought for sure I was going to school to become a designer to help people with a disabled situation in their homes, fix the house up, Life didn't happen that way. Life sent me a co-op in the government. And which I thought was so lame because a lot of my friends in design school were going to all these cool design places. And I thought, oh my God, this is so lame. I can't believe it. And then I went, turned out, looking back now, it turned out to be the best decision ever. It's not where I thought I'd be going, but then it all worked out. And then now being able to work in real estate, I get to deal with houses. I get to deal with graphic design, with social media all the time. I get to deal with clients. And honestly, I'm a people person, and that is my favorite part.
Hearing all these positivities about how, it wasn't where you thought you'd go, but it seems to be working out exactly how you hoped.
Definitely.
Right? What's your biggest challenge in your role, you find, as a mother and as a employee of your family business?
It's a challenge in, well, balancing motherhood and small business is tough because my priority is always the kids. But then obviously the priority has to be the work too, because that's how we feed our kids, So it's a really tough challenge to time manage and figure out like what's the good time. Like, I wake up at 6:30. Okay, I have a cup of tea. Okay, now I got to make lunches. Okay, but I really should be sitting on my computer because I love the morning and that's my best thinking time and that's my best creativity time. But I have to do the lunch, and then I have to get the kids out to school. And then once that's done, and then I get ready for work, and then I get into the office around 9:30. And then, I just feel like, I don't know, it's hard to manage. And I think that's a problem everybody has. You try to figure it out. And then every other week, you're like, okay, I'm going to create a new time management schedule, and I'm going to do it like this instead. And I'm going to walk the dog at this time because I don't get enough exercise, and my back hurts. And I just it's like a woman's inner thoughts, like, and I'm not a night person. So when 7 o'clock hits, I am brain dead. And now I don't know if that's a part of the whole menopause situation we were talking about a while ago too, like that brain fog situation. In the morning, I am sharp. I am happening. And then the afternoon hits and I can't even, but then I hear other women talking about it. And it's like this silent killer of not motivation, but like getting things done. And I can't explain it to Jason. Sometimes he's like, just do it, Well, yeah, of course the answer is just do it, but I can't. It sounds stupid when I'm like blah blah blah, like trying to write something, and I'm like, I can't even, And it's not an excuse. It really is something that I'm just trying to work through. Like, I'm like, do I need more vitamins? Do I need more water? Like,
maybe all we need is just to reserve that time at the end of the day for ourselves. What if we just didn't do it? And we waited till the next day.
Well, then your business can suffer. That's the problem. Right?
I'm no guru. I'm no health guru or like mental wellness guru.
I know, but that's the thing, right? Like, because you have these days where you're like, and a small business is not a 9-to-5 job, as you know. Like, you have to work all the time, or they're going to call somebody else, and that's right. And plus, I'm at home with the kids too, so it's like I have that role too.
Do you find that you're the main caregiver though? When your kid's sick at school, do they call mom?
Yes.
Or do they call dad?
Yes.
Who's going? So
exactly.
Is that you?
It is me.
But here's the thing that I find that women, we've become so tough in this day and age. We're juggling 10 million thoughts during the day. By 8 o'clock, you're exhausted, probably not because you don't have the same stamina, but because you went 100 miles an hour for 5 hours straight, and your brain is actually just going like error, because that is the end of the day, and you can't force your brain to go any faster.
I try to teach the kids too. It's really easy to fall in your little black hole. I've been there. There's been many, I've had my years where it was a lot of tears, a lot of black hole thinking and negative thinking. And it's like, I remember going through a hard time and going, what would my mom do? My mom is in a wheelchair, and she would kick my ass to know that I was sitting in bed crying or whatever for nothing. Not for nothing, but, for just things that could be, you just change your perspective and it could be okay,
If you could change one thing about how society values women today, what would it be?
I want to say sexuality, because it's a whole can of worms that when you have 2 little girls, and then you all of a sudden your eyes are opened to everything out there like that is so inappropriate, and you're like, what is happening? Every song is explicit. I have to skip it, or I have to like, oh my God, you know, every video, every outfit, every crop top. It's hard as parents. You're raising young girls and you're trying to instill these things. And the world is saying one thing, and at home you're saying another thing, and it's very confusing to them, I'm sure. And even as realtors, like I was imagining, oh, okay, so I'm going to start taking my real estate license. I don't know if I'm going to go out full out realtor. I'm not sure, but I can do more things in my job if I have that. And then I was thinking like, ooh, I can get a new business card and have a new picture on it. And for fun, I went on Pinterest and I looked up realtor women. And well, let me tell you, there was so many boobs and cleavage and
really
those fake lips things that
oh my God,
the filler lips.
What if you get me started
and it's like,
on
those women, if they feel comfortable doing that, then by all means go for it. Have fun. But why is it that when I look up realtor women pictures, that most of the pictures that come up are like sexy women, and it's like, I get it. You want to look your best and you want to put out this image of like polished and those women on TV. And I totally get it, because there's days where I wake up and I'm like, I want to look nice today. I want to wear something cool and feel sexy, you know, because I'm in my 40s now and I feel like that's coming out more, you know. But what about the balance of just that down to earth girl who's just wearing a pair of jeans, who really knows her stuff, and then she just wants to, you know, show herself in that.
Sex sells.
Yeah.
And some women are totally fine with that. Me personally, I'm not okay with that.
I know.
I would never, no.
It's hard.
And I probably missed out on opportunities because I've never used, you know, my God-given power or whatever, but like I've never applied myself that way.
Right.
I don't want to be hired because I'm
right.
And to be quite honest, if I was a wife and my husband came home with a card, I hired her, I'd go, no, you didn't. You know, it can, you know, I guess your client base are single men, maybe divorced men. I don't know, but that is a full client base.
That's it. And that's like, good for you. If you want to look that way, you didn't feel good about yourself and you want to change something, or you want to look sexy every day, you go for it. Go for it, whatever. And then I'm raising little girls, and I don't want them to think that that's what sells, because I have not been very confident. And in my 40s, I feel better. I feel great. And I'm like, I can be sexy, and I'm not, you know, because I'm a huge goofball, and I never thought of myself as sexy or whatever. But it's, how come you only start to get life or feel good about yourself as a woman in like your 30s and 40s? It's so unfair, because then all of a sudden you're about to be 50 and 60, and it's like, this isn't right. Like, I want to feel this way before. Like, there's sexuality in society is such a confusing subject. There's so many different aspects to it. Like, what would I change? I don't know, but I feel like ever since I've had kids, all of a sudden it's like everywhere, and it's scary.
You don't want your daughters growing up feeling like just because they're girls that they need to be sexualized.
Right. It's like know your power, I guess. Like, just because you look pretty or show a little skin, you might get the job, but you won't keep the job if you don't have the brains to back it up. You know what I mean? It's like, don't think that that's what's going to win in life. It's not. You need the brains to back it up.
What is your advice to young women today?
Take chances. Because of my experience of being so nervous and shy and afraid, I feel like if you don't do anything, you won't learn. Like, you can't just sit there and wait for the decision to hit you. You know what I mean? Like, you have to go through, like, you have to take that job and know if you hate it or you love it. You need to go on that trip and know if you hate it or you love it to be able to get through. And I would say take your time to get into that golden handcuffs government job. It's not like I'm saying, like, throw caution to the wind and, you know, go on a wild ride or anything, because I still wouldn't do that to this day. But I would definitely just, you know, just a little bit more. Just be a little braver. Don't be so afraid.
Tweak it a bit.
Just a little. Yeah.
Listen to that inner voice sometimes.
Or make smart decisions. Like I was never good with my money. And even though my mom worked at a bank and tried to teach me, it would not catch. Like, I was not, you know. So if you're a young person now, why don't you look into investing whatever money you make at the, you know, Tim Hortons job that you have. Stop spending your money, $130 on jeans, because they're stupid. And
Or Sephora's the big
Oh,
money
I guess
guzzler
that
right
would be
now.
the thing right now. Stop wasting your money on stupid shit. And I know it sounds easy to say it now because I'm older, and I spend my money on stupid shit sometimes, but I'm saying as a young person, like if you make the effort to get a job and make some money, don't blow it, save it, and go on a trip somewhere. That would be one piece of advice. If you want to have fun in life, like money does matter a little bit, and it's important to try to make smart decisions when you're young. I know you're young and you want to have fun. Of course, you're going to go to that party on the weekend and spend a little bit of money, but put half your paycheck away. Or like, I remember my best friend in high school, her parents took half her paycheck every single time she got paid. And at the end, when she started going to school, they gave it back to her and she bought a car. Definitely going to do that with my kids, because you can't expect kids to know the consequences or to know how to save money easily. And yes, we want to teach them, but sometimes we just don't get it. Sometimes we don't, unfortunately. And as we go into our 20s, our parents aren't going to save our money for us. Yeah. You know, you're on your own.
Well, Renée, thanks so much. It's been great having you.